Revealing area. Found them.
Oh.
Shot down.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy AverageJonas rocking his Team Liquid PJs. This is episode 3 of Pimp My Lineup. Let's go. Viper double molly combo for B-side default on bind.
There.
What? Really? Does that work? First of all, I don't really like to stand that close and shoot it high up in the air because it's really easy to see where it's coming from and it's really easy to push you. The thing you are saying is that he should shoot a snake bite and then TP straight away. Here's the problem. You only use the poison cloud when they're actually diffusing, because the fuel bar is the one that decides for how long you can keep them off the spike, which means that you need to be within range of hearing the diffuse. That's the problem. You have to wait until they diffuse, pop your poison cloud, then TP, and then shoot it. And then after that, you have no way of getting back in time. I'd say it's extremely situational and in most cases, unnecessary.
It's a double shock dart. First you just stand in the middle of these tiles and you're gonna look at the right circle on your drone symbol and it's a 2-bar charge.
That's a 2-bar.
A little bit to the right of this corner like this and it's a 1-bar. Right here.
It's a pretty standard double shock dart. It takes into consideration and most people hug the wall because they want to be further away from the corner so that they have a higher chance of having the peeker's advantage. That's fine. My biggest problem with this one is that you don't need a 2+1 bar in this situation. Try to make it a 1 bar plus a full charge bounce off the wall somehow. It's very slow and it's quite easy to see it coming because it comes from the direction you're looking at. So you want to make sure that it's a lot faster. Other than that though, the lineup is pretty easy to do. You're safe from the spot you're doing it from. So all that is good. The timing is good. It's just a bit slow.
After plant you get in the T. Then you get into this corner. Second charge bar line. Into a 2-bar.
Scanning ahead.
And then you take your crosshair next to this dot. 1 bar.
Revealing area.
Should look like this.
Shot down.
Okay. First of all, you're standing in a spot that is very exposed. So when you plant here, it's very common that the person that plays Hookah pushes through market, which means that if you run through here after you plant to line up a double shock dart here, you're very exposed. You can't hear diffuse sound from there. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but even if you could, it wouldn't matter because the lineup is too slow. So whenever you make a 2+1 lineup, you can never use that reaction node. So it has to be shot like a prediction arrow. You TP here, you shoot your lineup, then what? Are you gonna run all the way around here and try to shoot it again? Because unless you have other teammates to help you, that's not gonna work. Recon dart to A-site.
Revelando zona.
Oh. Español.
Justo aquí.
First of all, this one is gonna get shot pretty simply. The reason why I haven't made a lineup for backside A is because first of all, it's such a big area that you just wanna wait until you see where the enemy team plays. Normally, it's either walled or smoked off here in the entrance anyway, which is why I usually just go cave and I shoot it at the back wall here in A. The most important corner to clear is backside the right boob and this box here. As long as that's clear, you know that you can swing out and hold middle and left, so you don't really need to reveal that much here in the first place. How far does it scan? Yeah, see, big problem. You need to scan this corner. It's the most important thing.
So this is my A main lineup for it to
Right
land
here.
right here.
Right here.
At the beginning of the round. So you're gonna want to take your right bounce diamond, put it right into this corner with the tree, and do a 1 bar.
Revealing area.
And it'll sail over this area. It's really hard to see.
That's a pre-pimped lineup. It's mostly used for a pre-round to see if people play post-plant. It's done from a safe spot. It's easy to remember. Hits exactly where it should be. That's exactly how I would do it too. Nice job. The new God retake arrow for A-site Haven. What more does it reveal from the current God arrow? Under heaven, part of long, most of deep short.
Revealing area.
It doesn't see anything here. It sees under heaven, that's good. It's not bad. The main problem for it anyway is that you're shooting a 1 bar straight across the entire site, which means that in most cases, it's never gonna scan. But we'll take a look at it. Here, right?
Scanning ahead. There they are.
Anyone with like a brain cell will be like, oh, I'm getting scanned by this. All right, let me just do this and move from it. The thing about this one is that even if you
Revealing
see
area.
it, you don't know how to move
Found
from
them.
it. You're like, ah, shit, I can't move from it here. I can't move from it here. So the great thing about it is that when you hit
Scanning
here,
ahead.
it reveals under heaven. That's great. Here, that's good. So the spot is pretty good, but you need to make a lineup that is full charged. A 1 bar from here that flies across the site is so easy to shoot. We have an arrow on split. Use the start of the round on attack. Oh god.
Right here.
Oh god.
For the satellite dish, you're gonna line up.
It's
the
very
bombs
pixel
on the
perfect as
door.
well. It's cool though.
Come on down here. Just sit right up in here. Should clear hell and
Huh.
everything.
So he's doing the same thing that I did with the other dart, which is ulting on it from here. I'd say this is more of a flex dart that isn't really that applicable in most games, and it's also extremely pixel perfect. Oh my god, come on. Sorry, but that's just unnecessary. You're just making the lineup harder on purpose. You're making it easier to dodge. Absolutely no reason to make double bounce there. Defensive Hookah infobait.
Revealing area. Found them.
Oh! So at first I was a bit skeptical because they ran out here. But I realized that you would only ever use this if people are playing Hookah. This is something that I could find myself using. The only thing I'm noticing is that like it bounces once. This is something about a timing thing where if it bounces once inside there, it takes longer. I would try to do 2 things. First of all, find out if it's possible to shoot it from a corner that is more safe, like maybe here, and then try to make it land straight into the roof window, because the extra bounce gives them time to react to it, right? This is quite good the way it is. The whole concept is that you TP first, so they hear it and they aim towards the TP, and then the arrow lands behind them, and then that increases your chance to get a kill. Sent A-site Heaven Reel to help teammates if you're playing for ult/shock darts.
Revealing area.
Okay. So this falls into the
Revealing
unnecessary
area.
category. And I can see what you're thinking. You want it to land there, so it reveals both sides here. But that means that you can just shoot it here. It won't work in below gold because everybody's already aiming at the ground. A side to back side B can use to help. Ooh, okay.
Scanning ahead.
Okay. What's the fetish with hitting the
Right here.
ground, guys? Come on. Good thought process, helping his team on B. But for the love of God, please hit it up here on the wall. If you hit up here on the wall, it will also see more into sight, and it will still see both directions as long as you don't hit it too high up. Sova Aaron split from A lobby to B site and B back.
Right here.
What is this?
Right here. Right here.
Okay.
Scanning ahead.
Jesus Christ. Why is everybody shooting at the floor, man? It's like the 3rd arrow in a row. Come on, guys, be better. It's a cool arrow. My biggest question is, why would you have to reveal B side when you're in A lobby? Unless it's a fake arrow. But if it's a fake arrow, we already talked about this before, it has to come from a realistic angle. In which case, you would have to stand somewhere in spawn and shoot it to bounce off this bridge here. So it flies over to here, but we already have an arrow for that. There is no reason to just shoot it across the map only to hit the ground.
Shock dart. Shock dart.
Okay, so I like this idea, but I'm gonna say a few things. First of all, this area here is often smoked off, so unless you make your lineup use something that's closer, it's risky. Second of all, this spot is more exposed than the opposite corner, which is here, because if you get pushed from there, it's easier to shoot you. Third of all, this can be walled off, so a wall bouncer this low is risky because it can be walled off by Sage or it can body hit someone.
Right here.
Bottom left hotline, pretty easy to remember. 2 charge, 1 bounce.
Revealing area.
I can't see how high it bounces, but I have a feeling it bounces in the window frame. I would have slightly changed it to not have to bounce and just hit this wall. I think that's my biggest one with this one, because again, if it bounces here and hits there, it reveals slightly less and it's slightly easier to shoot. I'd say the idea is good, spot is fine. I mean, I do a similar variant from A Heaven, but that's just because I like to play from there. Just try to see if you can find a way that it doesn't have to bounce from the window frame and then hit the wall. Just go directly in, so it's harder for them to shoot it. You're blinded, Opted. Oh. This is one of those very specific ones, right? It will work in some scenarios if someone plays there, because if they're tucked into that corner, they won't see it coming that easily. It hits on a pretty good spot. It even lands slightly further out, which is good. I think this is more down to where you've been playing like maybe 5-6 rounds and you see that they usually play their post plants from site, in which case you'll know that most likely someone plays there. My only concern is that it's gonna be too slow. It's decent for sure.
Double bounce.
What is this?
Off like this general area. It's not super specific. It's just like close to the top.
A double bounce?
2 bar.
Double bounce, 2
Then
bar?
you move to this corner and wait for that one to bounce, and then full charge off that. And it's basically a double shot.
Ah, this is really good. The biggest problem is probably how exposed you are. So I don't think this is for post plant. This is for anti-plant. The second arrow, if a sage wall, this is a very common sage wall spot. This lineup is one of those that could be used on both sides. So it could also be a post plant, but it's a bit scary to stand there and line up for that long. I've not seen anything like this before, so I appreciate the cool factor of someone thinking a bit differently, to be honest. But also you can hear them being shot very, very clearly.
Shock dart.
Okay. The kind of lineups that are pretty simple but work surprisingly often. So this is if you know you're playing against someone who's sniping. Do you get seen from A short here? Yeah. Okay. Here's the biggest problem. You need to do this one from a different spot, because you can even see it on the minimap. Look at that. You can see down A short, which means that if someone is Ferrari peeking that, they should be able to see your head. So the idea is good, just do it from a slightly different spot. Thank you so much for joining the 3rd episode of Pimp My Lineup. If you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And we also have some pretty crazy flex arrow stuff coming up soon. Stay tuned. Bye bye, love you. What the? Okay, that's a flex lineup.